Good morning, everyone. Welcome to web design and programming class on UCOS. Today's topic is going to be talking about site management. And then what is site management? Site management is the arrangement of your website files in order. This is the first thing you're supposed to do before you start creating a website. Now, how do you do site management? It's up to 3 steps. Step 1 is to create your local site folder, which will be created inside your server. And how do you locate your server? By going to your start, go to my computer, then go to your C drive, locate your server folder. Right now I'm using a WAM folder. Go into your www directory and then create a new folder inside here with the name of your with the name that contains your so you can see, create a new folder here and then call it my site. That is your step 1 in site management. You created a local site here called my site. And what is the function of this site, of this folder, is to store every file you're going to be creating on your website. All your web pages will be created inside here. So this is the step 1, creating your local site folder, which will be found inside here. Now step 2 is to create your default image folder inside your local site directory. What do I mean by that? You open this folder you just created, double click on it, then create a new folder inside it, call it images. Now images, what's the function of this folder? Is where you're going to be storing all your images file, the pictures you're going to be using on your website. Now these are the 2 major folders you have to create inside your site management. For now, you're not limited to just these 2 folders. Let's say, for example, you want to create a site where people can play music. You can create a folder where you will store your music folders inside there. You can call it MP3. You can have to go here and create another folder and call it MP3. Here, I will store all my MP3 folders and MP3 files inside there. If you want to add videos to your site, you can create another folder for videos and call it video. Here, you keep all the video files you're going to be using on your website. So this is the first 2 steps you create in site management. The first one is create your local site folder, which you created inside your www folder, your server folder, and you call it my site. It can be any name. Preferably you can use the name of the project you're working on as the name of the folder. Then step 2 is you create a default image folder called images inside that your local root directory, where you will store all your images file. And then you can also do proper housekeeping by creating other folders, other directories that will help you to store your files. Now this is the first 2 steps. Now the third step, so you can close this or you can minimize it. This third step is something we call site definition. Now what is your site definition? Site definition is the synchronization of your software to your server. What I mean by that, the software you're going to be using right now is Adobe Dreamweaver. So you go to your start and then you go to all programs and then you look for your Adobe directory, Adobe CS3. So you look for Dreamweaver and then you start your software. Now what does this step 3 is all about is where you can link your software to those folders you have created. What do I mean by that? Every work you do in your software in this application will now be saved directly into those directory that you have created, and you can interact with it vice versa. What is called site definition. Now how do we do site definition? Your Dreamweaver is coming up now. This is Adobe Dreamweaver CS3. Now I would advise you, if you're starting to learn web design, start with either Dreamweaver 8 or Dreamweaver 3, which should now help you properly to learn higher version. Now this is Dreamweaver. You can all see Dreamweaver has 4 major panel. We have the menu panel, we have the insert panel, we have the property inspector down below here, and then we have other group panel that can be found by your right hand side of your application. Now the menu panel, like you all know, is where you find the menus. Menus are a list of instructions for you to perform a specific task. For example, you can have the file where you have new, open, and all of that. You have the edit, and you can do undo, redo, and all that. You have the view where you can set the view of your application. You also have the insert menu. Alright, you also have the insert bar where you can have the common, the layout. All these are choose for you to create or for you to perform a specific task. For example, if I want to create an email I can use my common. If I want to create a layout, I can use my what, my layouts panel. But you see, all of these places are inactive because you're here to create a new page. Once you create a page, it becomes active. So we'll come back to that. Then your property inspector gives you information about a selected object, either a table, a text, and how you can modify that object you've selected on your what, on your screen right here. And then right now, because what we want to do is what, site definition. So for you to do a site definition, you make use of your what, of your site menu, which you can see right from here, site menu. Then you click on your site menu. From there you go to what, new site. You can see manage site, we can see new site because it's a new site you are creating, so you have to use what, new site. But if you have actually created a previous site, you can go to what, manage site. We'll come back to that, how to manage your site. But first of all, we're doing what, new site. So you click on what, on new site. Now you have the dialog box for new site. Most of the time, if you are new to Dreamweaver, what you will see is this basic environment. It's called basic. I come back from here so you can see site definition. Now, like I told you earlier, site definition is what, synchronization of your application, of your software to those directories you have created in step 1 and 2. Are we together? And then, so but because of the basic environment, it gives you fewer information that you need, so we'll make use of what, of the advanced environment. Now inside this advanced environment, you can see categories. Now we are just interested in just 2 basic categories in this area. One is called the local info, and the other is called what, the testing server. These are the 2 categories that we're interested in. Alright, let's start with the local info. The local info, once you select any category, what you need to set for that category will be displayed on the right hand side of this screen, where you can see my mouse moving over. Now the first thing is your site name. Your site name. Site name simply means the name of the site, because you might have several sites. This enables you to do what, to differentiate between other projects that you're doing. Like I can simply call it what, web training 1. Now second thing we need to do is what, is we now have local root folder. Now what is this local root folder? This local root folder is that directory that you have created in step 1 and 2, that we created as inside my W folder, where you have your what, my site, and then that's what is called your what, your local root folder. So you have to link it to it. So you already have the directory part. If you don't have the part, simply click on this folder icon, and then you go to your server, and then you locate the particular site you're working, which is what, my site. So I'll look for my site, and I click open, and I click select. So you see, you can simply come back here. Because of your operating system, you can just type the name of the folder. If I actually know the name of the folder, so we'll call my what, my site. You can also do this way. So that's what you do in the first part. The second part is default image folder. What does this mean? You need to also set the path for the other folder that we created inside your what, your local site folder. Alright, so what you really need to do is what, you can copy this part and then click here, and then simply do what, put a backslash and then put images, because images is the name of the folders that you created. Are we together? Then on this one is a link relative to, you simply just leave the document only, and then now it comes back to ask for HTTP address. Now what is this HTTP address? Because normally when you are creating a site, you want to preview it and see how it looks on your browser. Now for you to do all this, you simply need to provide what, an address. HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which will now help you to transfer the file from your server into your browser. So because you're using the local system right now, your address will be what, local sites, so a local host, because it's not online, so you use a local host slash the name of your folder that is containing all your sites, and in this case it is what, my site. So you type what, my site. So that is the address that will help you to preview your site while you're designing it on browser. Now the next one you talk about caching. What is caching? Enable caching. Always leave this checkbox the way it is. Caching means, well, if somebody goes to your website, and if a lot of people have viewed your site on a browser, and somebody comes to type a letter that relates to your what, to your site name, automatically what, your site is among the list of websites that will appear. That is what the cache do. So under your local info category, these are the things that you basically just need to set, nothing more, nothing else. Your site name, your local root folder, which is what you created in step 1, your default image folder, which is what you created in step 2, and then your HTTP address, which is your localhost slash the name of your folder. This time around is my site, so it can be the name of the project you're writing or you're creating. Alright, I haven't done this. Do not click the OK until you're done with the second category, which is what your testing what server. Now we're back to testing server. On testing server, you have just two areas to start. One is called the server model, and then what the access. And what do you mean? Because you're using the local server to host your site on your system, you have to select the model for the server. And in this case, we're using what an Apache server, which is made up of PHP and MySQL database server. So this is what you all select: PHP and my SQL. You also have other server like ASP with JavaScript, ASP with VB Script, ASP.NET with C#, and then you also have ASP.NET VB, CodeFusion, Java, which is JSP. But what we're using is what PHP MySQL. Now, how do you want to access this server that you've already selected? You select it, and then since it's a local network, it's on your system, it's not online. You select what local network. Automatically, you see that what your testing server address folder will appear here, which is all that you set under your local info. And then the next other one is called what is your URL preface. What is URL? URL is what uniform resource what locator. On this point, you can simply do what you can simply link the address. You already have your local host. All you need to do is to put the name of your folder right inside here, and then this is all you need to set under your testing server, your server model, the access to the server, and then this is the address that will be displayed on your on your browser once you preview your website. This is all you need to do in your site definition. So you can see from the tab here, it's now showing site definition for web training. Initially it was showing site definition for unnamed site, but now you've given it a name, and then you've set all the problems. So to check back all over again before you click your OK, go back to your local info and make sure everything is correct. Your site name, your site's root folder, image folder, your HTTP address, and then you can come back to your testing server and then check all over again. And then once you click OK, it's actually creating your site. Right now you can see everything has been created, and it's now showing to you on your file panel. You can see the video folder, the mp3 folder, and the images folder that we created in our site when we're creating the first two steps, and now appear here, which means everything you do right now will be saved directly into into that site. So this is how to do site management. We'll definitely end this class here for today. If you have any other questions, you can just quickly send it to us while we plan for the next class. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you. This is from maziskill.com. You can see us on 080 919 610 93. Bye.